Practically speaking, what does that mean? How do we act? Should we be doing things like recycling and buying electric vehicles?
We have to be sensible enough to not be deceived by the false. I mean, if you talk about environmentalism, Tom, I mean, you have the ISM on the end, which is like a belief system. Catholicism, Bolshevism, right? Communism, socialism, they all kind of are belief systems, okay? As soon as you're talking about environmentalism, you raise it to the level of kind of a belief system, and again, you kind of present it as some kind of a ersatz religion. So we have to absolutely reject environmentalism, okay? We have to always relate all of these questions to our Catholic faith, and we realize we do have an obligation to take good care of God's creation here. And that means not to poison it, not to pollute it, not to abuse it. I mean, when we were kids in school, we had, you know, the kid next to us who liked to pull the wings off flies or the legs off spiders. And, you know, we always, maybe some of us who weren't doing that thought that was a little peculiar and a little creepy, and realize you just don't do that to a living thing and enjoy it, you know. There's something wrong with that. Well, there's something wrong with just a wholesale polluting of the nation, polluting of the world. There's something wrong with big pharma right now. There's something very wrong with Food Incorporated right now. And these major corporations are taking over the necessities, you know, production of necessities of life, the worst form of socialism, where the great corporations are controlled by a handful of people who also control the politicians. There you bring together the economic production with the power of government. And this is the formula for the worst form of tyranny. And that's what we've got. This is what we're facing right now. So, I mean, look, the very people who are behind this environmentalism are the ones who are pushing all this evil stuff right now. So you can see that environmentalism for them is not actually a matter of right and wrong. It's a matter of policy, and it's a matter of actually imposing tyranny and gaining control over the whole world. We have to reject their environmentalism as a religion. We have to, as Catholics, be responsible for ourselves and see, well, you know, we are required to take care of things. Remember the old days when parents would say, or the sisters in the classrooms would say, you know, you should not waste food. You should think about those in the world who don't have any. And so you should be careful not to waste food. And not only that, but they had us contributing our quarters during Lent for the, you know, for the missions, so that they could obtain food. No one has been greater in dealing with the acts of charity than the Catholic man, woman, and child in the course of history. But the idea of taking care of things is a very Catholic idea. Going back hundreds of years, centuries and centuries, Catholic children were taught, you know, to economize, always economize. You know, turn the lights off when you leave the room. Don't let the water run, you know, just run indiscriminately. And we were taught this just because it's not a matter of religious environmentalism of saving the earth. We're taught that because it's irresponsible. It's simply irresponsible. It's imprudent. It sets a bad example. It's wasteful. It's wasteful. And we were always taught that being wasteful is wrong, is morally wrong. We were taught that being wasteful is against charity, and it's something that we would even find necessary to confess if we were really wasteful of something good that would be a benefit to somebody else, and I'm just wasting it. We always were taught we had responsibility for that. And how did they get us off of that training from our own parents to environmentalism now, where, you know, we are at the service of serving the earth and preventing the earth from being wounded? Because the earth is now being wounded by us, and the earth is reacting against us and punishing us, right? By the things that happen to us. The earth is convulsing now because we're wounding and hurting her. I mean, what kind of mythology is that they put in the place of a simple lesson that children learned to, be frugal, not to waste, be considerate of others, to be generous and help, and not to poison the world around them. That's not environmentalism. That's just Catholicism.